Hi everyone, Mary at Espresso Press Design. Welcome. Thank you for joining me today, February 18th, 2025. We're back to more watercolor stencil background pages for a new journal, and I had a bunch of loose light sketchbook paper and copy paper that I don't want to go to waste, and I don't really have another use for it. I still haven't had time to be dyeing yet, but thank you for joining me today. And look at my I finally put my mat out, my new Christmas present. Can't wait to use it, see how it works, and see how it hopefully cuts down on the glare and everything on camera. So, new paper. This should be finished by today. Heavenly Blues journal collection. And there's all kinds of things, but I just printed a couple so you could see how pretty that is. I think it's very pretty. And I thought I would print this out for you. You might not be watching, but this is how mine prints out, and it's very good quality. So there's all that. Okay, let me get my appreciations out, because I truly do appreciate all of you for visiting, watching, commenting, purchasing, just your company. Lois, Carol, Lucy, Katie, Debbie, Janet, Teresa, Eveline, that's a very pretty name, Cindy, and Deborah. Thank you so much. And let me just leave that there for commentary. My little notes. So, as you know, I've been doing this lovely watercolor background papers, and I've been busy trying new stuff and everything I can think of. It's been a lot of fun. I really probably haven't picked up watercolor in 15 years. I can't believe it's been that long, but I was a painter, watercolor painter, acrylic painter, pen and ink for 30 years, 25 years, and then I just quit. So it's been a lot of fun revisiting watercolor, even though this isn't good paper or anything. But I said I was going to do some more of this just designs as opposed to this. So that's what I've been practicing all week. And I have some monochromatic ones. This one was done with just a brush, not the blender brushes. I've been watching all kinds of videos. This one, I just wanted to see how many times I could layer a particular stencil. This one, which I never seem to use very much. And I just wanted to see how many times I had to layer to get the paper covered, and it turned out to be about 3. And then I did this one. Yeah, that way. This one I like. This one's Okay. This one. So, okay, that's about it. And I did this one, which we might do next time if I continue this any further. So today I'm going to work on the paper pulls, which is where when I did a watercolor, then I sprayed it, or it was very wet, turned over another sheet, and then just pulled it off. So that is what I'm calling a pull. And today I'm going to work on those. I'll choose one. And you'll need the same thing if you want to do this as well. Stencils. And today I'm going to be primarily using these type, and probably this one, and probably this one since it's a favorite. And I'm just going to be doing the shapes today. So you'll need that. You'll need some water, some watercolors. I'm still just using the pans. Spray. And I kind of did discover I'm just probably going to use the blender brushes today. That technique seemed to be the best, even though I like this one where I just use the brush. It's better if you leave the stencils on, weight it, put another piece of paper on top, so you get two, weight it down and let it dry completely. It comes out much better, but we're not going to have time to do that because apparently you're not even supposed to dry it with a blow dryer. So we're not going to have time to do that, all that stuff. Although, so I do have assorted brushes, flat brush, round brushes, and blender brushes. Okay, and then I wanted to tell you, even if I didn't like a paper, like my very first one, it didn't go to waste. Look at these cool beads I made. Love them. So even when you don't like it, you can create something else. Okay, so let me get this. Let me choose which one I'm going to start with here. I think this one. And I'm going to cover this matte. My feeling is, why get it all stained for the first day? At least wait until the second day. So I'm going to cover this with some mats here that I use. Place mats that I get from Dollar Tree, and I use them for dyeing. So I hope everyone's doing well. Let me get my cloth here because that's going to be important. Paint is cracking and peeling. Yeah, that's going to be important. Okay. So I did this two ways. I began, some I did wet and wet, and some I did just dry brush or dry paper. So I'm not quite sure. I think I'm going to just do one dry brush here and then do a couple wet and wet, and they will definitely go into the background because they'll be softer. So it does help to wet your paper because then your especially this gets like a vacuum and then it holds on to the paper better. But I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to hold it with my hand. And I'm just going to get started here. And see what transpires. I've done this so many times now, I'm having a hard time remembering which technique I used for what. So I think I just kind of pulled that out, kind of like with dry brush, and it just kind of made like little rays. Oh, see, that's already too wet, and it hardly has any water. But that's okay. These are just background pages. And I meant to get a sponge. Because remember, this has to be very dry. Your blending brush, I mean. And they sure soak up the water very fast. So if clarity is important to you, it just takes practice. I even tried a sponge. I wanted to get some, I went to Dollar Tree to get some more wedge sponges, cosmetic sponges, and they don't have them anymore. They just have all different shapes. There, that's much better. So I settled with I settled for a cellulose sponge. Let's see, let me get some orangish peach here. I settled for cellulose sponge. It was okay. Nothing to write home about. And a sponge sure sucks up the water too. And I meant to grab it so I don't have to mess up my cloth here. So I have a wet spot on my mat and I soaked a heck of a lot of water out of there already. And that brush was perfectly dry, perfectly clean. And I did find out you do have to soak them to get all the paint out. Not like a watercolor brush, that's for sure. So then I just kind of went in with the other stencil and did my, there we go, that's nice. Now I could scrub that out. I think I might. I could scrub that out, wait for it to dry, and do it over, possibly. Well, actually it's not scrubbing out very much. Okay, I'm just going to leave it. If that was watercolor paper, it would probably scrub out better. Okay, I like that. So then, oh, where's my tiny one? Let me get my smaller one. I'm going to try a couple smaller ones. If I can find it. Now I know I just put it in here yesterday. Sorry. Must be over here. There we go. Okay, you disappeared. Okay, I had a tiny one. I don't know where it went. Okay, I'll just try this. The other ones went better. I'm trying to think if I should stick with pink rose here. Yeah, I guess I will. I'll just add another color later. Okay, I've really been having a lot of fun with this. And if I do any more, 2, 3, 4. If I do any more, I'm probably going to order a stencil or two, because I'm getting kind of bored with these stencils, and I never invested that much in stencils because I didn't use them that often. These I mostly use for coffee dyeing. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I'll probably show you here on this a wet and wet. So I'm just going to wet this little section. It's better if you wait a little bit until it's not shiny, but still soaked. For the sake of time, just going to show you that. and it sucks down the doily much better. So there, you get a much softer effect, which I'm trying to figure out which one here. I did wet and wet. It's probably that one is wet and wet. And that one isn't, that one isn't. So the edges are much softer, as you can tell. What I really like about this one is the circle. So let me do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let me get one more in here. And then I'll begin filling in with a different stencil and a different color. I really like this one. So I'm glad it turned out on camera. I don't think that's wet enough. And we'll start another one. We have time. Just going to sponge that up a little bit because it's too shiny. Okay. But this is just, this is nice. I mean, already I think I have about 50 sheets. I didn't show you all of the fails. Okay, that one's a little too wet and wet. I gave it a little too much pressure there, but it's still fine. Okay. See that one there? A little too much pressure. So, let me get... I've been using this diamond. I just think it kind of goes well. Okay, what color? Probably. I've kind of been trying to stay monochromatic. So I'm probably going to go with a well, I was going to say purple. But you know what? I'm going to try a gold. Let me see if I can get this cleaned out so I can stay with the warm. Get as much moisture out of there as possible. Okay, let's see. Let's see if we can get like an ochre. Peach. Looks like I'm getting a peach here. And I know that's too moist. So much for this clean cloth. Okay. Let's try. See if that even shows up. Might have to add some brown. And I know this is very, very moist. Okay, not bad. Get that lined up. The brush is getting a little drier. Okay, not bad. It's very warm. That's nice. Sometimes you don't want a lot of contrast. I might have to buy another one of these stencils because those thin corners are lifting. I hardly ever use this. But I've been having a lot of fun with this. And I did see you could do watercolors on the jelly plate. Although I honestly don't see why you would want to do that. You're just going to get one pull. And you're probably most definitely not going to get much layering. Okay. And very, very sad, I guess it's true, Joann's is closing. Very, very, very disappointed. That's where I get all my single sheets to do my one sheet wonders and a bunch of other stuff. Sometimes you just don't feel like buying a whole paper pack. And they often had them for when they were closing out. They often had them on clearance for 50 cents, sometimes 25 cents. Plus, I was just thinking last night where I often bought jewelry findings at Joann's, and I almost always bought a lot of embossing folders. I shopped at Joann's quite a bit, bought fabric, of course, all kinds of stuff. Okay. I think I like that. This area is still a little wet. Let me just try to get one or two in there. Okay, I don't want this to be so busy. That kind of reminds me of this one. I like it. Okay, I could use one more thing in an opposing color. And I had been going with the tiny triangles or diamond shapes. You know what though? I might add some hearts. What else do I have here? There's some little teardrops. Have a little leaf shape. I don't really want dots. I could add dots because I do have that dot in the center. Wish I had a large. Well, I do have a couple of large dots. Let's try that. Oh boy, what color? I'm thinking about being brave and trying a bright green. Like a spring green. Okay, let's go for it. Let's see what happens. You know what? I'm gonna do is try it with some diamonds first. That way I'll know if I love it or hate it. Oh, that's not bad. Okay. I'm just going to put a few here and there where I have some white. And I'm mixing it with some yellow. Jem, is that you? Okay. Because I know if I go over this orange and pink too much, I'm just going to get brown. So I'm looking for some white. And I think that might be it. Because I don't know if I want to put a big green dot on there now. A little bit in there. A little bit up there. Okay. I think I like that. Jem, you're not coming in. You're not coming in. You know you're not allowed in here. You can come in after. That's my cat at the door. He's bored. We had quite the blizzard. I'm trying to see my flow here of this green. And oh, I've been watching the most amazing people of things I never thought of doing, but now I'm considering it. Mixed media, and I've been watching Willa Wanders. I don't know if you've ever seen her, but oh my, she had the most beautiful journal. I think she said she did it after taking a water school course, but it was just gorgeous. What I should have done is mapped out a line here, like an S or something, an X across something, so that I could have dispersed these triangles a little better. Before just diving in there and looking for white. Okay, I think that's flowing through. Well enough. Okay, that's one of my favorites. So I think you get the gist. There we go. It's quite different from the others. Let me just try one more here and try to get that a little, bring that back a little bit now that it's all dry. If my red is still moist enough. And that's quite dark. And I hope I'm not going to turn that to mud. Okay, there we go. Brought it back a little. Okay, I'm quite happy with that. Okay, everyone. We're at 39, and I think that's going to wrap it up. And the next one we might do is this, which is completely wet in wet. Gives a much softer look, more muted. I promised I would do a muted one. So we might do that next, and then probably move on to something else until I get some new stencils. Okay, everyone, you have a great day. Thank you so much for joining me. And I did change the title of these to Stencils with Watercolor. I really like this. I'm so glad it turned out on camera. Okay, I'll see you next time. Thanks again. Bye.